That's the name of the show. Do good, feel good. Now you're in the know.
What up, Pod Nation? We are about to drop a sick live episode into your ears. It's going to penetrate your brain and it's going to warm your heart, and you're going to be laughing because this really short episode is jam-packed with inspiration, funny humor, cool questions, and so much joy, love, laughter, light, all the other things that are mentioned in yoga. But it's not about yoga today, my friends. It's about Ayuda. And this amazing organization helps low-income immigrants through direct, legal, social, and language services, training and outreach in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. They envision a community where all immigrants succeed and thrive in the United States. I know it's been a while since we've dropped some full-length eps in your ears, and you're probably wondering, how and where am I going to be able to listen to these beautiful voices for 30 minutes or more? I'm tired of just listening for 8 to 15 minutes. What am I going to do? I can't re-listen to these other episodes again that I've memorized word for word. Well, lucky for you, we're going to come back and we're going to drop some sick, long, and not live episodes into your ears in November. We're going to have a pause on all of the weddings that we've been going to. We're going to be able to focus on what really matters. This podcast. Okay? Well, I hope that you enjoyed this long rant, and without further ado, let's hear from Ayuda and our wonderful friends there, making life better for all the immigrants they work with here in Washington, D.C. Thanks, Ayuda, and thanks, listeners, for tuning in. All right, another thing that we're bringing into this episode, we introduce it live on the app, and it is called the Milk Challenge. Probably not like anything you've ever heard before. What we're trying to do is figure out what is the best milk. Yes, this is inspired by our episode with CCAN, where we ask what's the best alternative milk. We got some pushback on that, and now we really want to know what's the best milk of all. So we're going to try to do an interactive bracket and really find out what is the best milk. So if you guys like a kind of milk, please just tag us on Instagram in the post that I'll be posting maybe tomorrow that says what milk should be on the bracket. We'll be hashing this out over the next 2 to 7 years, and we'll really find out what's the best milk. If you want to participate in the milk challenge, simply comment on any post ever on our Instagram, Do Good Feel Good Show, using the hashtag #milk, and please tell us what's your favorite kind of milk. See you later. One more thing, I'm leaving in a very special blooper for your listening pleasure. I can't believe you're already laughing. You don't even know what it is yet. Alright, well, it's gonna be Chris accidentally saying the name wrong of our representative many, many times. It's pretty funny. And it's showbiz, baby. I couldn't edit it out. It was just too good. He actually says my name wrong, too. And so this is payback.
Catania, so sorry, we're raising all this money for you, Miss Brent. For your last name. Sorry for the name. No, I'll get it right next time. Catania. It's definitely Catania. To invite our fearless podcast leader to the stage, Laura Cantrell, everybody, along with Colleen Normile from the project. She's a project and attorney, and she's going to explain a little bit more about what that means exactly. So, keep it going. Keep it going. Great. You want to stand? Sure, let's stand up. We have the option. We can put our feet up. We can do whatever we want in this very small area. Cool. So, Lauren, you want to kick it off?
Yes. By the way, my name is Lauren. Is this on?
It is. It's not quite.
This is on.
Yeah, there it is.
My name is Lauren, not Laura. So just to clear that one up. Anyone? It's okay. It's a hard day for names. Anyone out there travel from out of state to get here? Woo! Anyone travel from a different country? Well, you did? We do have someone? Well, the immigrants did, so I'm glad that we're here to support them, am I right? I'm just kidding. I'm not actually a stand-up comedian, obviously. So, I do the podcast, and I'd like to ask you some questions that aren't funny, and some maybe will be. Okay, so why did you join Ayuda, and just what brought you to the organization?
So I'll explain a little bit about my project. My name is Colleen Normile, and I work for Ayuda with Project END, which is actually a specific project that's designed to combat fraud in immigration legal services. It's a mouthful, but unfortunately in immigration law, it's a very complicated body of law, but there's lots of non-attorneys who practice in immigration law. Like, for example, in the Latinx community, we call it notario fraud. In a lot of Latin American countries, a notario is an attorney. But as we know, notary public is not an attorney at all. It's a false cognate. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who are willing to take the money, say pose as an attorney, and it causes a lot of harm to people's immigration cases. For example, we saw a case recently where a spouse was petitioning for his wife through a notario, thought everything was going fine. The wife goes home to her home country for a visa interview, so she thinks, and is stuck in her home country for 10 years, and they have 2 little kids. So the consequences are really devastating. But Ayuda was actually the first organization in the country to start a project focused specifically on this issue of notario fraud, and I think that's emblematic of Ayuda as a whole, in that we try to provide holistic services, social services, language access, domestic violence and family law services, and immigration services to immigrant communities.
Can we get a round of applause for that? And so you were drawn to this organization because you're just very...
Well, for the holistic model, right?
Okay,
and we're trying to support communities as a whole instead of sort of piecemeal, like you have this legal issue and this legal issue. Unfortunately, we don't have resources to do absolutely everything, but we try and do as much as we can with the resources we have.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Thank you. I have a question for you. So, Colleen, I am a former ESL teacher myself. I don't know if do you teach students directly or not? You work in the legal portion. Okay. Well, I'm curious. As far as the ESL is concerned, how do you feel when ESL students say curse words in English when the grammar is perfect?
I feel good about it. I support cursing. I think we should all curse a lot more than we do.
Yeah. That's the answer we were looking for.
Okay, the next question that we just had submitted on Twitter just now came rushing in. What? Just kidding. We have like 20 followers on Twitter. What? Do Good Feel Good. Actually, it's Do Good Show. At Do Good Show. So our question from all of our fans back home is, if you were a cereal, or if Ayuda was a cereal, what would it be and why?
That's a good question. Lucky Charms, because because we've got some good stuff in there and a little sugar on top.
Nice. Maybe that could be like a new mission statement. Or
Yeah.
Perfect.
And also like Irish immigrants. Can I tell you about that cereal question? In the back, Lauren overheard you talking about cereal and milk, and she was like, "Oh my God, they're talking about cereal milk. This is perfect."
But I wrote this like at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So it's just all
great. Glad we asked the cereal question. Staying on topic. Look, there's been a lot of talk about immigrants from the South. But what about immigrants from the North? Should there be more of a conversation about Canadian immigrants, and what would that look like? You have to answer.
Well, but I do think that points to a serious issue, right? We talk about, there are a lot of Canadian immigrants.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot of undocumented Canadian immigrants, and it's not visible. And there's a reason for that.
And the reason is...
What's the solution?
Just to welcome all immigrants and give all immigrant people opportunity.
Okay, the next question. I'm toying between two very important questions. I think I'll go with, if we did have to build a wall at the southern border, but it can be made out of anything that we want, like candy, Lucky Charms, hugs, whatever you could possibly make it out of, what would it be and why?
Oh. A rainbow slide with a cloud cushion pillow at the bottom.
Okay. Hear that, Trump? This is what the people want.
I'm going to say I love how quick that answer was.
Yeah.
That's great. It's like I was ready. You thought about that.
You get that a lot, right?
Cool.
Yes.
Great. I love that. Colleen, I have a serious question for you, and this may be your last one. what is one action that you'd like to share with our listeners and viewers? Something simple and concrete that people can do around the world and even right now, here, tonight.
I'm just going to quote Cardi B. Money. Give us money.
How can they give you money?
Yeah.
They can. There's a number back there that they can text us to. I don't have it.
All of the fans listening back home, we're
Yeah.
going to read the number when we get back to the table.
Okay. Yeah.
Great. Very inspirational. Thank you very much. Money. We should give money at this fundraiser comedy show. Give money. Do you have any last questions?
I do have one last question.
Great.
So we want to start off a new segment in the podcast. It's a bracket. It's like a competition. And it was inspired from an environmental show. And I think it's like not very relevant right now, but why not? You're an attorney?
Yeah.
Or a lawyer?
Yeah.
Both?
Both.
So I really never knew the difference. But what is your favorite kind of milk?
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. We're going to have a bracket on the Do Good, Feel Good show. And it's going to be what is the best milk. And right now we've got one for oats. You heard it here first, everyone. Stay tuned.
That's great.
Woo!
I agree.
All right.
Give it up, everybody,
Thank
for
you.
Colleen and Lauren. The Do Good, Feel Good show.
Sing with me now. Do good, feel good. It's the Do Good, Feel Good show. It sounded sad.
Hacer bien y sentirse bien.
Muy bueno.